Welcome back to On the Line. As always, I'm your host, Juan Roque, with my partner in crime, my brother, the Rhino, Ryan Knowles, and getting to the devil's details as far as Wazzu, the pirate coach, Mike Leach, Adam James's nemesis, Craig James's nemesis, the guy who got fired for locking people in electrical closets that weren't really electrical closets.
His son, Adam James. Yeah,
Adam James, right. Exactly. So a lot of controversy there. So you got a guy that had a lot of baggage and was brought to Wazzu because they fired Paul Wolf last season.
Yeah, very high profile coach.
Big time. Over $2 million a year.
Yeah, and a guy who was very much in demand by a lot of schools. I mean, there were a lot of talks of him maybe going to U of A. I know a lot of ASU fans wanted him to come here. But I mean,
is it safe to say Washington State is really?
Yeah, a little bit.
2-8, 0-7 in the Pac.
0-7 in the Pac-12. That's right. And I think it is safe to say that. And just the way Mike Leach has kind of handled the players, handled the upperclassmen, the way he's handled himself with the media, I think is really raising a lot of red flags in Pullman right now. I mean, he's not very happy. First of all, he's driven away probably their top talent, wideout Marquise Wilson, who's no longer on the team roster. I mean, the guy has puts up sick receiving numbers, and now he's gone. Leach basically called him out, and now he's off the team.
Well, and then he's making accusations too that the Pac-12, Larry Scott's actually going to be investigating that along with Wazzu because he's alleging abuse. Now, here's where I have to be cautious about this, because is this just sour grapes that this kid just didn't like the coach and now he's claiming abuse? Because there's a strong distinction between a coach grabbing your face mask and screaming the F word at you that you're not performing well or running you to death than it is for him to take his belt off and smack you over the butt with it. Two different things. So, what is he alleging is a quote-unquote abuse? He's
called out a lot of the upperclassmen, calling them soft, not really
for them not zombies. You're like a bunch of corpses.
Exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to wonder: is this just a high-intensity coach calling out a group of kids that he doesn't feel around his page?
I think it's well documented that Mike Leach does not like to lose. I mean, he's a winner. He's a winner everywhere he's been. I mean, look what he did to that Texas Tech team, being able to recruit against A&M and UT. He really turned that team around, and his resume speaks for itself. You got to figure that he knows what he's doing. He's doing something right. So he's really trying to change a losing culture. I mean
bingo.
That Wazzu school has been a loser in football for going back 10 years.
Why were they included in the new Pac-12? Why not bring in a Boise State or another school like that?
Some would argue that they don't even belong in Division I. I mean, it's really. I mean, they have been just bad the last few years. So, I mean, Mike Leach coming in, I think you got to give the guy a little bit of time to see what he can do and turn around, especially once he gets his own guys there, and guys who are not used to guys who aren't used to doing things a certain way. Because that way clearly has not been working for the Cougars.
Well, what a difference in the approach, right? You think of how Coach Graham came in and changed a lot of the culture with ASU with the earrings. They all dressed the same, even in walkthroughs. I went to a walkthrough before the UCLA game. They were all dressed exactly alike. Difference in the culture. The kids here bought in. The kids here are trying their damnedest to do what Coach Graham is telling you. Then you got this culture in Wazzu.
He drove a couple of the guys away that didn't necessarily buy in.
And one guy that was driven away initially that came back and is having a hell of a season, which is Junior Haley.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got such a vast difference in what's happened. And you can't really make the argument that it's a winning culture here, because we had 3 losing seasons in a row, or 2 losing seasons in a row with a
500, yeah.
Right, and then before Todd Graham came here. So what do you think's been the difference? Is it just the players buying in? Is he overdoing it? I mean,
I think
we've been to this game a long time. I have my hypotheses. I'd like to hear yours.
All right. Well, I mean, I think he came in maybe not realizing how bad of a situation it was.
God dang, we're thinking exactly like
that. And it
pissed him off when he realized it was worse.
I think it did. I mean, and he's tried to push the guys that are there to do things the right way. And I mean, I know for a fact that he drove away a couple of their starting linebackers during the spring. Some other guys have quit, and now a high-profile guy like Marquise Wilson, who's probably their top pro prospect and guy who just makes plays at the wide receiver position, going out, and I mean, it's a bad situation right now. I mean, we'll see. It's
interesting subplot for this game.
When you have lost as long as Wazzu has, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
But let's keep in mind, they did whip our ass last season.
Yes.
So we did go to the Palouse, and we got rear ends handed to us.
I mean,
so this isn't a game I'm taking lightly. This isn't a game that I think ASU is just going to win, like a lot of the so-called experts are saying, because they were supposed to win the game last year. And that was just a disaster what happened up there.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything for ASU.
650 yards passing, was that what happened?
ASU really needs this game going. Coming off those 4 straight losses to get some confidence going into U of A. Really snap that 4-game losing streak, snap it hard. This is senior day. let these guys
Military
go,
appreciation, too.
yeah, these guys in their final home game, let them go off with a win. Guys like
Absolutely.
Keelan Johnson and Brandon McGee who deserve it.
So as you see, a lot of subplots in this game. Don't go away or click onto our next segment, which we start talking about. Who is this Wazzu team? Who's going to be coming to Tempe on Saturday? Don't go away and join us on the next one.